Welcome to The Jump. I am Rachel Nichols, ESPN insider. Brian Windhorst is back. Our future Hall of Famer, Mr. Tracy McGrady, back at the other end of the desk. You were looking very festive for Friday.
Keep up with you, Frank.
Well, you got to do what you do. I would like to wish you both happy Shaq Day. For those who don't know, The Jump, we shoot right across from the Staples Center, where, as you can see, they've been very busy in the plaza here over the past couple days, erecting the statue of Shaquille O'Neal. It will officially be unveiled in just a few hours. Kobe's coming to the ceremony. Phil Jackson's coming. Best of all, they chose a pose of him dunking, which gives us the excuse here on the show to show you a bunch of killer dunk highlights. I love this one of Dudley, right? I mean, this has got to be what the statue is modeled on. It is so vicious. Or the time he yammed on Arvydas Sabonis.
Grab her foot.
Yeah. You know, the thing that was so jaw-dropping about Shaq was what he did to the other Hall of Famers, guys like David Robinson, who were so used to overpowering everyone their whole careers. Then they met Shaq and found out once and for all what it was like to be that puny kid on the playground. Of course, Shaq could do so much more than dunk. He actually had a crossover, really.
Come on, Jerome James.
And we remember all the scoring explosions, right? Oh, come on. I love that. You got the 61 points he put up on his birthday. That buzzer beater, remember, that he hit against the Jazz. The place went crazy. You had that iconic lob he caught from Kobe in the 2000 Western Conference Finals. And to me, that led to his greatest on-court masterpiece, which was the 2000 Finals. He won MVP. He averaged 38 points, 17 rebounds, 3 blocks. I know he won 3 Finals MVPs, but to me, that was the coolest one. And I got to say, I got to cover Shaq for much of his career. I got to work with him at TNT. And people always ask me, is he as much fun as he seems? And the answer is yes. I usually compare him to that Tom Hanks movie, Big, where the kid can't believe everything he gets to do with this big body when he suddenly wakes up with it. That was always Shaq to me. He was never jaded about getting to wake up each day and get to be 7'1" and get to do anything he wanted on a basketball court. It was just always so much enormous fun, and he just felt like there was always something new and cool to try to do or be or say. And for me, that's why even though I have a bunch of pictures from interviewing Shaq over the years, I got to tell you, this right here will always be my favorite picture of me and Shaquille O'Neal, because this man is larger than life. If anyone can rock a fur coat with flair, if anyone can rock a statue, frankly, for that matter, it is Shaquille O'Neal. I could not be happier for him today.
I didn't know you was that cool, right?
Right? Oh, come on. Come on. I thought you knew. I do love that his statue is so particular, right, of him dunking in that way. It's not the typical, like, basketball statue we see. But what's so fascinating when you look at Shaq and those highlights is when you try to put him into today's era.
Really?
Well,
I mean, I can't even imagine Shaq being.
That's what I'm
Seriously.
saying, because it's such different center play right now.
It is. Take today's players and take Shaq and put him in today's game. He will average 40 and 20 easily.
He would change the league because teams would have to have bigs
right,
to put up against him. Like the Golden State Warriors would never get away with what the team they have now.
Lineup, right?
They would like, forget about Kevin Durant. We got to go sign a big to deal with foul Shaq 6 times.
I mean, what's incredible about him is he to be that big, his agility. I mean, this guy can do a backflip.
Right.
Can you picture this dude right here doing a backflip?
Not anymore. Well,
I mean, not anymore, but I mean, when he
many of us cannot do the things we used to do.
His agility was just something phenomenal at his size, and to be put in today's game, yeah, he will completely change the game.
He would dominate any era. If he was in the 60s, if he was in the 2000s, if he was in 2040, there's just not many people in the history of humankind who have been born that size. He dominated,
our era.
So when you're physically going against someone, I forget who had the quote, it's like going up against a moving train. I mean, what did it feel like?
I tell you what, when he had the ball and you go to help out your big man, you got to be cautious of reaching in there because he'll break your arm or break your hand. But I remember playing for the Raptors. I went to Shaq's house. I used to train at his house in the summertime. And I told him, I said, hey, big fella, remember that time I smacked your junk, your shot? He was like, whatever, you ain't do that. I said, all right. So I pulled it up on my phone. And sure enough, Showed him. Like, oh, that was a gold 10.
Right, of course. Aw, and a kiss. Look at that nice little kiss.
That's my guy.
He had all around your head.
Look at your face, though, at that moment. Yes, that's your guy now, and it's all in good fun. But in that moment, he was like, he's sweaty.
Man.
Rachel can relate to this. I covered him every day for a year when he was with the Cavs. You never get used to how big he is.
It's so funny you say that. And maybe, Tracy, it's different because you're a tall gentleman. But for us mere mortals, I have to say, every day I was around him, he is just a massive human being. If you want to have some fun, go to the Google and do like sort of Shaq, celebrity photos and see him. There's a picture of him and Christina Aguilera from an All-Star game back in the early 2000s. I swear to God, they don't look like they're the same species. She's like 5 feet tall. He's this monstrous person. They don't look, one looks like an alien. I don't really know which one of them it is, but it is amazing to be around him and so much fun.
Yes,
and I'm thrilled for him today. You're going to want to see the highlights later today because Kobe is speaking, Shaq is speaking. It's going to be a trip. All right, I do want to talk about 2 of Shaq's former teams. If the season ended today, really, we could be talking about any teams when we talk about Shaq's former teams. But in this case, we are talking about the Cavs and the Heat. They would face off in the first round of the playoffs. And by the way, if you don't think that there is still a Cold War going on between Pat Riley and LeBron James, you have not been paying attention. Brian, are you rooting for this as much as I am? Because I'm rooting hard at this point.
Too.
It was so close last year. The Heat lost Game 7 in Toronto. They could have played in the conference finals last year. Would have been amazing. We'd have gotten Wade, LeBron. You can't have that now. Okay, so first off, if the Cavs played the Heat, Games 3 and 4 in Miami, it's going to be 90 degrees in there during that game.
Right, because they know how he cramps up.
They know the cramps, and they used to turn the air conditioning, Tracy, down on playoff days. It would be 60 degrees in that building at 3 o'clock.
That's real. That's real, huh?
Yeah.
It's going to be warm. Secondly, I'm going to say right now, I know Dwayne's gone. I know Bosh is out. Deion Waiters is hurt right now. LeBron James has won 17 consecutive first-round playoff games. He hasn't lost a first-round playoff game
since Mr. First Round
2012. If this series happened, that streak would come to an end. Really? I think the Heat would get. The Heat have owned the Cavs.
What?
Obviously, I think the Cavs would win the series. But I think the Cavs' winning streak in the first round would come to an end. The Heat would get a game or two off.
Oh, okay.
There is something mental there with LeBron. First of all, he sat out a bunch. He's DNP rested a lot of Miami games.
It's great storylines. That's what the playoffs are all about, right? LeBron is 2 years removed from Miami. Dwayne Wade is not there. Chris Bosh is not there. Well, let's talk about Eric Spoelstra.
Right.
The coaching job that he's done with these guys. Started out 11-30 and have a chance to be what?
Okay, so I don't know how to answer this, so I'm curious for your guys' opinion. I am inclined to vote for him for Coach of the Year if they make the playoffs.
That's where I was about to go.
But he was the coach of the team that went 11-30.
I don't care. He's still the coach of the team that's possibly going to make the playoffs. I know D'Antoni has done a great job, but D'Antoni has had his team. He's got an MVP candidate.
Houston's been the healthiest team in the league. The Heat have been, if not the most.
They went out and just grabbed guys.
Yes, he was the coach that dug them out, but he was
I reconcile it as he has a team that's actually not very good,
right?
And he turned them very good.
He's so great.
He got guys out the YMCA, church leagues. And they're going to make the playoffs.
Literally he does have a player who was at the YMCA.
Literally at the YMCA. Tonight, the Warriors host the Kings.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Apparently, Matt Barnes is still sour. The Kings released him in February to facilitate the DeMarcus Cousins trade. Here was Barnes yesterday. He was asked about facing his former team. He had a few things to say, Tracy. Take a listen.
Trying to kill him. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? Things didn't go well there. They're the enemy now, so we're trying to kill him. Beat him by 50.
Which is possible.
I agree with it. And I understand, using the word kill, but it's what we say in basketball terminology. As a basketball player,
his tone there was okay.
Matt Barnes should wake up every day and say, thank goodness for the Kings.
Absolutely.
First off, he's going to make $55,000 tonight from the Kings.
Oh, he's still getting paid by them.
Paid. $13,000 from the Warriors, $55,000 from the Kings. Thank you very much, Sacramento. Right. Secondly, he's now on the Warriors. He got a chance to win a title. The Kings are like 3-9 since they made that trade.
He should be writing Vlade thank you note, really.
He should be thrilled, should be so happy. Thank you, Sacramento.
There you go. Yeah. But Matt, he's going to have a little bit of a grudge if
he's
he can get one.
He's going to have a chip on his shoulders for sure. I don't know what went wrong, but hey.
Maybe if you are currently being investigated under assault charges, you don't use that kind of language. But I don't know. I thought his tone was fine. I'm willing to let it go. No problem. We do have to take a break.
Hooray. just took
Blake
a
doesn't
shot
like it.
at Blake.
Referee Josh Tibbin getting between the warring parties. Everybody getting separated. We're going to take a look at this. It is a flagrant 2 on Barea, and he is ejected from the game. Whoa.
Welcome back to The Jump. You just watched J.J. Barea, generously listed at 6 feet, getting ejected for pushing Blake Griffin, who is generously listed at 6'10". Tracy, did Barea deserve a flagrant 2 there?
No, not at all. That was weak. That was weak. Blake 6'10", 2'6". There's no way he should have pushed him down like
Right?
that.
That's like me pushing you.
Yeah,
Flopping like
that was a little bit of flop on his part.
So I don't know. I mean, here's what Brea's teammate Devin Harris said about him. Quote, he's got a little man syndrome from the start. That's just who he is. I don't ever want him to change. You're okay with JJ,
All
right?
right, a few things with JJ. Number one, that play, they needed DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin to sandwich him because they fear him, apparently, on picks. Number two, his mom says he's 5'10". He's not 6 foot. Number three, this guy's a hero amongst NBA players. He got a huge contract from the Minnesota Timberwolves at one time.
Right.
He's got a ring. He dated one Miss Universe and married another Miss Universe.
So he should never get a
dude
flagrant
is-
foul for that?
Listen, this
That's a
dude is
great
one of the
resume.
most respected players in the NBA. If you believe it.
Forget it. We saw him getting chippy there in the past. I mean, look, you got to give it to him. All right, we can move. Oh, here's the Ray Allen one,
Don't
right?
mess with him on Ray Allen either.
You know, but being his height, being small, I'm sure he's been told, oh, you're too small. You're never
Yeah.
going to do this. You're never going to do that. And for him to make the NBA and had a
Yes.
great run with Dallas Mavericks, he changed the narrative of that. And
love it.
I can appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Kept getting paid in Minnesota while getting to go back to Dallas. This dude, everything he touches turns to gold.
I'm noticing a trend here. We have multiple players collecting salaries from two
Yes, we
different
do.
teams today.
Welcome to the modern NBA.
How many people are you collecting salaries from
Just
today?
one.
We gotta
The
work
day's
on
not
that.
over yet.
That's true. Here's something interesting. All 30, speaking of salaries, all 30 head coaches who began this season are still with their respective teams. I'm going to let that shock sink into you after the past few years we've had. According to the AP, if this holds up, it will actually mark the first time in 53 years. 53 years, no team has made an in-season coaching change. Now, we have had a particularly turbulent stretch. There were 10 new coaches hired this past offseason. That could be a reason, but Brian, what else do you attribute it to? Because we've had first-year head coaches fired before. It's not like that's been a
We've
stopper.
had an unprecedented set of coaching changeover over the last 4 years, even just with this last year. And what I think is going to happen now is the general managers have fired all the coaches. I think there may be more general managers that get changed in this offseason than there are coaches, because the teams that are bad are usually bad on purpose right now. Like the Nets know they're going to be bad. The Suns know they're going to be bad. The Lakers. There's actually been more general manager changes in this season. We've
Right.
seen one of the Lakers across the street changed, and I think we're going to see more. So part of it is just cyclical. The GMs can only fire the coach so many times before it comes back on them.
I don't know what you want me to say on this.
Well, I do.
You're doing a good job. Keep up the good work.
Keep up the good work. Well, I mean, look, people have looked at
And
New
work with Bernie
Orleans
Mac.
as a potential hot spot. Do you feel that Dell Demps, the GM, who was possibly more on the hot seat, has now moved the hot seat over to Alvin Gentry?
I will say
By
this.
acquiring Boogie Cousins?
I actually thought, and I know he's in his first year with Indiana, but Nate McMillan, I thought that was a team that will be elite in the Eastern Conference and will push Cavaliers for the Eastern Conference title this year, and it's just not happening. It's his first year, but I thought they would be a lot better than they were.
Chicago, Fred Hoiberg's, they've underachieved over these 2 years. So that might be a
That
spot
is
we could
such a
see change.
weird situation, though. The front
is.
office seems like it really needs to prove they made the right choice there in replacing Tom Thibodeau, and the players
Also,
seem
if
dug in on maybe a
Dwayne
different
Casey,
side.
the Raptors are rallying now, and they get Kyle Lowry back, they'll be good. But if they have an early exit, people think Dwayne Casey and something might happen there. But he's very well respected there, obviously. One of the longest tenured coaches in the league.
Well, we generally hope people keep their jobs, so this is a good thing so far. Good luck. Congratulations to the NBA for not everyone freaking out and pulling the
Everybody
trigger
kept
the
their
way
job.
they usually do. All right, from experience to youth, the NBA saw its youngest starting lineup ever last night. It's hard at this point to do something ever in NBA history. We've been around as a league
it's
for a while.
almost 70 years.
The Phoenix Suns, an average of 21 years and 14 days old, according to ESPN Stats and Info. Not only did they have the youngest starting five in NBA history in 70 plus years, it was younger than 7 of the 8
Please let
teams
Brian go
That-
right
that-
now.
that's sad.
played in the Sweet 16 yesterday.
That stat is unbelievable.
Right?
That's an unbelievable stat.
That's crazy. So this kind of brings the whole age restriction
Been
limit.
saying it for years, man.
Right?
Been saying it for years. You know, I think they have to up this age limit to at least 20, or guys have to stay 2 years in college. You know, I know I'm biased about this, but it's time because the product that we're seeing in some of these teams is just not good. These guys are not developed. I would love to see these guys get a few more years in college under their belt, so when they come to the league, they're a little bit more polished and ready to go. Now these guys coming in at 19 years old, and they're they are leader of a franchise. Yeah. That is difficult to do.
This is a very easy fix. It can be negotiated very shortly. You let players who want to come out at age 18 come out, and if they go to college, they have to stay probably 2 years. So there will be this, like the 18/20 rule. Here's the problem. This is something that is negotiated between the Players Association and the ownership. It has nothing to do with the colleges. They don't get a say in this. And for this to be a negotiating point, each side has to really want it. It has to be one of the things they push for. And if you're the players, Tracy, there's 60 guys coming in the league every year. Whether they're 15 years old or whether they're 30 years old, there's 60 new names coming in. It doesn't affect it. It's not a big enough deal for them to make it an issue. They said they were going to talk about it. It's been on the table for 6 or 7 years.
But see, to me, what both of you guys are proposing isn't going to work. Because if you tell people you can come in at 18 or you come in at 20, they're all still just going to come in at 18. And they should, because if you're offered millions of dollars at 18 years old, you have the right to take that money. I think that what you need to do is say, hey, at 18 years old, you can come in the development league. No one's going to say you don't have a right to earn a living. People have a right to earn a living. They don't have the right to earn tens of millions of dollars. So you have the right to play professional basketball at 18. That's fine. But you can do it in the development league where you will develop and you will earn a salary, but not a crazy salary. And then when you hit 20 years old or 2 years, you can start to get into the NBA. Because that takes care of the free market economy, but at least it gets more mature players in our league, and it gets rid of one and done in college basketball.
Definitely need more mature players. I mean,
Rachel, she's going to institute a new MVP rule. What do we got next week?
We're on the board.
That's right. I could be in charge of a lot of things. I'm just saying, people. All right, we got to take a break. Jabari Parker went down, guys. We all sort of kept shaking our heads. We said, oh, it's such a shame. The Bucks were 7 games under 500. They were 11th in the East. We thought that was kind of the end. Since then, Milwaukee has gone 14-6. That's the best record in the East in that span. Brian, everyone loves defining the Bucks as the potential first-round spoilers. But we're talking now, what, a 6-3 matchup with the Wizards? How possible is the Cinderella story?
6-3. If they win, they're playing the Hawks tonight. If they win tonight, they're going to be tied for 5th. Nobody wants to face this team in the first round because they're very, very long.
Yes.
Right.
They will
Giannis
bother
is the
you.
X-factor.
Yeah, Giannis can really cause some matchup problems. I'm not saying they're going to do anything like upset somebody.
They would cause a scare.
But nobody wants to see this team in the first round. And Chris Middleton and Jabari Parker got to play like 10 minutes together this year. At some point, Giannis, Middleton, and Parker are going to get on the court together, and it's going to be a real interesting core going forward.
Well, not this year, all three of them.
And probably not
How
a lot of
impressed
next
are you with
year.
Jason Kidd?
I'm really impressed.
I think when we
he's
have our
smart. He was a smart basketball player.
And point guards obviously
Absolutely.
make good coaches. But when we have all of our Coach of the Year discussions, I think he's just been kind of riding under the radar a little bit about how well he's been building that team.
Yeah, but not this year. They struggled a little bit.
Yeah.
This year.
Also, Malcolm Brogdon, a legitimate candidate for Rookie of the Year as a second-round pick, which we haven't seen.
Are we going to get into the Joel Embiid discussion again? Because I can have that discussion.
We can agree that he's a serious
Let's not go there.
Have that discussion. Make or miss, make circus shots. Damian Lillard made this crazy shot over KP last night. T-Mac, what's the best way to get your shot off?
Oh, that's
Sean
one way
Bradley,
to do
just
it.
go over top of him. And over David Robinson, just go over top of him.
Oh, man.
I forgot his name.
Put that on his statue right there.
Over him again. And once again.
And boom.
That was an impressive reel.
See, I like that. A little educational for the youngsters. Miss accuracy. Former Hawks center.
Hey, man, you see me? I got the same jersey on, bro.
In the face, playing overseas. Brian, how upset should the old teammate be?
Oh, I would not mess with Piero Antich even if he hit me in the face. Just say, thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
Hey, look,
Don't
I
mess
played with
that
Dikembe
dude.
Mutombo, and he accidentally elbowed me a couple times.
Really?
So yeah, I forgive him.
No. Make promotions. Patrick Ewing is rumored to be the favorite for Georgetown's vacant head coaching position. How do you feel, T-Mac? I'm getting a sense you're proving.
I'm excited. He's due to have a coaching job, even if it's on a collegiate level.
You should get an interview for sure.
This would be quite the job, right? I mean, and what a crazy situation situation there, right? John Thompson's son getting let go and maybe making room for Patrick Ewing.
Come on, Georgetown.
This selfishness. Watch the Spurs run this fast break after Kawhi's steal. I mean, this is just beautiful,
It's
right?
textbook right there.
4, 5.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Come on.
And Pop says they're not even on the same page right now as a team. He was criticizing their dad. I think they're
Nightmare right there.
Nightmare right now, aren't they? My Lord.
And look at those camouflage uniforms. Nice.
Are they the 1 or 2 defense in the conference right
I
now?
think they're
Is that
number
right?
1.
And
Well,
then
yeah,
also,
Memphis
oh, by the way,
Golden
they
State,
can do
I
that
think.
offensively. Not so bad. Not so bad. All right, we got to get going because, you know, Shaq's getting
Let's go,
honored.
UK.
Against the Jazz, the place went crazy. You had that iconic lob he caught from Kobe in the 2000 Western Conference Finals. And to me, that led to his greatest on-court masterpiece, which was the 2000 Finals. He won MVP. He averaged 38 points, 17 rebounds, 3 blocks. I know he won 3 Finals MVPs, but to me, that was the coolest one. And I got to say, I got to cover Shaq for much of his career. I got to work with him at TNT. And people always ask me, is he as much fun as he's officially be unveiled in just a few hours? Kobe's coming to the ceremony. Phil Jackson's coming. Best of all, they chose a pose of him dunking, which gives us the excuse here on the show to show you a bunch of killer dunk highlights. I love this one of Dudley, right? I mean, this has got to be what the statue is modeled on. It is so vicious. Or the time he yammed on Arvydas Sabonis.
Grab her foot.
Yeah. You know, the thing that was so jaw-dropping about Shaq was what he did to the other Hall of Famers, guys like David Robinson, who were so used to overpowering everyone their whole careers. Then they met Shaq and found out once and for all what it was like to be that puny kid on the playground. Of course, Shaq could do so much more than dunk. He actually had a crossover, really.
Come on, Jerome James.
And we remember all the scoring
Come on,
explosions,
Jerome James.
right? Oh, come on. I love that. You got the 61 points he put up on his birthday, that buzzer beater, remember, that he hit seams. And the answer is yes. I usually compare him to that Tom Hanks movie, Big, where the kid can't believe everything he gets to do with this big body when he suddenly wakes up with it. That was always Shaq to me. He was never jaded about getting to wake up each day and get to be 7'1" and get to do anything he wanted on a basketball court. It was just always so much enormous fun, and he just felt like there was always something new. Welcome to The Jump. I am Rachel Nichols, ESPN insider. Brian Windhorst is back. Our future Hall of Famer, Mr. Tracy McGrady, back at the other end of the desk. You were looking very festive for Friday.
Keep up with you, friend.
Well, you know, you got to do what you do. I would like to wish you both happy Shaq Day. For those who don't know, The Jump, we shoot right across from the Staples Center, where, as you can see, they've been very busy in the plaza here over the past couple days, erecting the statue of Shaquille O'Neal. It will